Hey YouTube, what's up? This is PopKid here, and I'm gonna bring you a deck profile of my Fire Fist, Brotherhood of the Fire Fist deck. This is one of my favorite decks. This is the deck that I am currently using, and I've had it for a long time actually, and I've put in a lot of work on it, with strategizing and just picking the best cards I could use. I don't always go with like I know some people they'll pretty much go with the same deck, whatever chopped in like a regionals or nationals. They'll pretty much use the same deck profile as that. Me, I watch those. I watch the deck profiles. I take some information what they use, but I don't like using the same exact strategy as they do. So I make my own little formula. And this formula has actually worked pretty good with me. I like it. I've had it for about 2 years. I've been working on it for about 2 years, and it's done good for me. It's exactly as I need it to be. And the only reason that I'm doing a deck profile too is I'm actually done using Fire Fist, at least not permanently, but the new ARK type Shaddolls has come out, so I've decided to put down my Fire Fist deck and pick that deck up. And the Duelist Alliance pack releases this month on the 15th, and I got a sneak peek of it from my local tournament. So I got some packs and pulled some of the cards that I need from that. So I decided to put this deck down so I could pick that one up. And I only really run one deck at a time. I know a couple people, they have a few decks that they play with, but really I'm just a one deck kind of guy. I don't like to cheat on my main deck. So I'll only run one deck that I like for a long time until I find a new deck that I like, then I'll pick that one up. Like before Fire Fist was Six Samurai, which I had, and I made a deck profile of that one. So when I found Fire Fist, I was like, oh, I like these, so I put down the Six Samurai. I still have the deck, but I've dissected it so much that it's still playable, but it's not my main deck anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and jump to the profile to show you guys what I run, and I'll have my extra deck and side deck in as well. So start this off with the monsters. 3 bear, of course. So why run 3 bear? Bear's good. And also I'm not gonna read the effects because you guys should know what the effects should do by now. If you can, you could just look it up online. But yeah, run 3 bears. Obviously, is the main staple of the deck. Your bears will go fast because people, especially if you get like first couple of turns, they're gonna try to Bottomless or deprison him. They want to get rid of bear as fast as possible. So I run 3 because the first one's probably going to go easy, and so you need the other 2 to support, bring that one back out. So 3 bears there for that reason. And I don't really like XZ or using bears as XZ material because bear is a good card. If they have a big monster, you need to pop their monster fast. So I never overlay with 2 bears. Never do that. Unless it's a dire situation where you're gonna lose the game, then you can overlay with 2 bears, but you never want to overlay with 2 bears. If most, you want to try to overlay with no bears, but if you can't, you're always gonna have a bear out on the field, so only overlay with using 1 bear and then whatever other monster. So 3 bear for that. So next, I got 2 gorillas. I had 3 gorillas at one point, but then I realized I don't really use gorilla that much. His effect is good, but it's not that great. Like I'm not always gonna go into his effect, and I'll show you later why. But 2 gorillas good. If they have a few back row that you need to pop, you can go ahead and do that. And then also I like the real main reason I have gorilla in here is for overlay, for an overlay unit, because I'm always gonna have a bear out on the field. So instead of using both my bears, I'll use a bear and then I'll use a gorilla for that, because I'm not always gonna use gorilla's effect. So I'll have a gorilla. I'll search for the gorilla with a Tenki, and then you know, just overlay using Gorilla, because he's a good, you know, unit to go overlay with, and pretty much that's why he's there, just to have an overlay. So also his effect's good too. So that's why I run 2 Gorilla. Next, got 2 dragons. 2 dragons. Dragon's a really good card. Dragon is your monster reborn. You know, if you have 2 of 5 formations, and Dragon is a 18 beater. So, you know, he could run over whatever bear can't run over, bear gorilla. You know, plus its effect is really good. I always misplay with Dragon just because I always forget. But if you like because like when you activate a fire formation, you get to set a fire formation spell trap card from your deck. So what I always do is I activate like Tensu and then Dragon. And I'm like, oh wait, no, I should have done Dragon then Tensu. So yeah, that's one thing. If you know, if you're playing Fire Fist, always make sure you do Dragon first, and then Tensu or then Tenki, because then you want to get the traps. So there's that. Also, you know, he's a good card for if you have back row, if you need to pop back row, so you can, you know, get a monster out. Dragon really helps out with that. You know, like if it's late in the game and you have your back row, you know, with a good amount of fire formations, and you got monsters, you got something big that you can't get over, you're like, oh man, what should I do? Oh wait, Dragon effect, pop 2, special summon, overlay for whatever you need, you know. So Dragon's pretty good with that, and you know, he also, like I said, a good overlay unit for it, the rank 4s. So there's that. The one and only Coach Soldier Wolfbark. Man, I still wish this card was at 3, but he's not. He's at 1, and for good reason. Special summon 1, no cost from your grave, in defense position. So Coach Soldier is great late game. Pulling him first turn is not that great in my opinion, just because I like having him just so then I can go into my rank 4 axis, obviously, and he's good with that. There's only one rank 4 that you can't really go in with him, which is Cardinal, but he's still good if you need to go into Tiger King. So, but you know, Coach Soldier is just too good. He's a 16 beater, but you know, still the rank 4 access with him is just too good. So I just, you know, Coach Soldier's so good. All right, and have 1 Boar. Reason I have Boar in here is because 1, he's a tuner, so I can, you know, instantly synchro for level 8. So Boar's pretty good with that. Also, you know, when he's sent to the graveyard by battle, I get to special someone. So he's good when, you know, I can set him if, you know, if I'm not having a good hand and I have Boar, I set him and then I can just special summon whatever I need to, you know, a bear or a dragon or a gorilla, whatever I need to. So he's good for that, but mainly he's there for the synchro, and I'll show you what card I use to synchro with him. But Boar's pretty good in that aspect. And anything else he's, you know, like I'm not going to use him to attack with, but pretty much he's there, you know, to synchro with, and that's why he's good. Alright, now going to the level 3s. I got 2 Rooster. Rooster is such a good card. I love Rooster. Rooster is so good because he kicks off the reason this is a 3.4 axis deck, which I forgot to mention in the beginning of this profile. But yeah, it's a 3.4 axis, and Rooster is so good just because the combos that you can kick off with him. And I'm just gonna go ahead and show you the next card that, you know, you can kick off the combo with, which is Spirit. There's you know, so many good combos that you can kick off with Spirit and Rooster that it's just insane. I love doing that combo, especially first turn. You know, get whatever you can, just pretty much send him to grave whichever way, and then normal summon Spirit, get Spirit's effect off, get Rooster out. Then you could use Rooster's effect, which is pretty much Tenki, so you get a Fire Fist to your hand. And synchro for Horse Prince. Horse Prince effect, get another Rooster out, and you can use Rooster's effect to set a fire formation or exchange a fire formation. So it's such a good combo. And I also really like using Spirits effect or Spirits combo with Leopard. Leopard, not a lot of people use, and you could run 3 Leopard. I only run 1 because I only feel I only need 1. But Leopard's a pretty good card. You tribute him to get a fire formation. So there's that combo right there. You normal summon him, his effect, tribute to get a Tenki. If you already have a Tensu in your hand, you can activate Tensu. Get Tenki out, get Spirit with that, Spirit's effect, special summon him, get your 6 out. So good combo right there. Love that combo so much. Alright, so moving to the spell and traps, of course. 3 Tenki, obviously. Tenki's just so good. Tenki you always need. You need 3 Tenki. There's really nothing else to say. You need 3 Tenki. You don't need 2. You don't need 1. You need 3. So yeah, 3 Tenki is just too good. Also, same with Tenki. 3 Tensu. You could some people could run 2, but me, I go through Tensu pretty fast as well. So you need 3 Tenki. Plus people might want to pop Tenki or Tensu because they want to get that, and be careful too with Tenki because they'll just activate MST on that. So if they have that face down, you want to stop them from having that. But yeah, 3 Tensu also too good to have. So you need 3 Tensu. Now this card right here, Fire Formation Gyokko, such a good card. So good that you need 3 of them. This card I love to death, okay? You can stall so much with this. I have 3 of these just because of the stall power, and it's so amazing, okay? If they set 1, you could go like Gyokko. No, you can't. You can't activate that trap or spell card. I love it so much. I hit so many good things, too, with Gyokko. I've hit Mirror Force. I've hit Solemn Warning. I've hit Torrential Tribute. Oh my gosh, this card is just so good. When you do it blind, it's so good, So like I mean, you can only do it blind, but still, Gyokko is such a good card. I love stalling that back row. Run 3 only for that reason, and it's just so good. So 3 Gyokko stops their back row, and it's such a good card. You need 3 Gyokko, so it's so good. And then I run also 2 MSTs. So if I get 3 Gyokko's first turn and then 2 MSTs, they have full back row. They can't use their back row at all. So yeah, that's why I have those there, and it's just such a good card to go with. I also have 1 Lance. Lance is a fairly good card. It's probably it's like my easier version of a Tenken, but Lance is fairly good. It's not that great, but it helps me out every now and then, and I can always side it out for whatever. So it's a good card to side out. So also the MSTs and the Gyokko's are good cards to side out against decks that don't use back row at all. Like what is it? Lightsworn. They don't use back row at all. So you can side out those type of cards that that are good against back row. You can just side them out, so you have good targets to side out against. So there's that. 1 Soul Charge, just because Soul Charge is really good. It really helps me push for game, and really helps me get over whatever I need to. And so there's really nothing else I can really say about Soul Charge. It helps me push for game. If I have nothing, I could bring everything that I just lost back out. So Soul Charge is good for that reason, and only 1 run, because 2 or 3 is kind of too much. So just one is good enough for me. 1 Duality, just because if I'm running slow or if the deck's not moving too fast, get pod out and just speed it up a little bit more. And another good card to side out, just in case if I really need to, because I don't always need Duality. So another good card that I can use to side out with. 1 Dark Hole, self-explanatory. Just destroy monsters. Now I go into traps. I run 2 Tenken. Tenken is a great card and it saved my life a bunch of times. It targets a beast warrior and makes it unaffected by everything. So they can Black Rose, they can Dark Hold, they can Solemn Warning. I do not care. Tenken is good for that reason. I used to run 1, but then I realized I'm gonna need Tenken a lot more because I used to run 1 Tenken and 2 Tensen, but then I realized people try to get rid of my monsters more than they try to attack over. So that's why I started running 2 Tenken now, because Tenken is good for that fact. So saves my monsters a lot of times, and even if they MST it doesn't really matter. So love Tenken for that reason. And 1 Tensen. Like I said, I used to run 2 of these, but I needed Tenken more than I needed Tensen, so I took my second Tensen out, and I only need one. One's good enough. If I know they have a big monster out, I just set that and they won't attack. So good enough for me. Now I run 2 Deep Prisons. Deep Prison's pretty good to have in here. They don't usually expect it, so I just run those 2 Deep Prisons, and it worked out pretty good for me. And then of course, one Bottomless, really good as well. Not much I can say about it. 2 Fiendish Chain. Fiendish Chain I have a love-hate relationship with. I love it when it stops, those combos for going off. And I love it when they have those big monsters out that I can't run over with. But I also hate it because when they overlay with their monster that I targeted with, then Fiendish Chain just stays in the field, and I'm just like, well, that's wasting even more of my back rows than I already would with my fire formation. So that's why I kind of love and hate them. That's why they're at 2, not 3. 3 would be way too much. But Fiendish Chain is good to the point where I don't need to run just 1, so 2 is good enough for me, And 2 Mirror Force, just because Mirror Force is amazing. So run 2 Mirror Force. This one's Ultra. And 1 Solemn Warning, because Solemn Warning is also amazing. Stops lots of things and just stuns the opponent. And also have 1 Compulse because it's at 1, but Compulse is really good, so have 1 Compulse. Then my game-changing card that I love so much, Magical Cylinders. Nobody expects this card. Nobody expects Magical Cylinders. That's why I love this card so much. It has won me. It has won me so many games. This card is so good. Just cause, oh my gosh, I love Magical Cylinders. It's such a good card. So it takes out all. It doesn't take anything, but man, it really pushes for those last 100 life points. And it's just good for that. It's a trolley card. It's a really trolley card, and I love it. But there's an even better card that I forgot what it's called. I want to say Dimensional Wall. I'm not really sure, but it does the same thing except it doesn't target. This targets. But yeah, Cylinders, really good card. So there's the main deck, and I'll go into extra deck now. 2 Brotherhood of the Fire Fist, Tiger King. Tiger King, so good. You need more than 1 because your first Tiger King will die. So you need that second Tiger King out to pull off those extra combos. 3, you could run 3. I only run 2 because I only need 2. Like I said, this deck only has what I need in there. 3 is a little bit too much. I never would really need to go into a 3rd Tiger King. The second Tiger King that I always bring out will always, either go for game, pretty much. The second Tiger King I pull out will always go for game. So I only need 2 outs. Effect's really good, and it searches for you. So it's even better. So 2 Tiger King, really good. Now here's a really good card that I should play 2 of, but I only run 1. Cardinal. Cardinal is such a good card. It bounces back from the field or grave on both sides of the player. So 1 card from 2 cards from either the grave or the field, and face up obviously, bounces it back to the deck, and same thing for your opponent. So you can get Cardinal out, get your Bear back, get your Tenki out back if you use 3 of them up already, and bounce back their big monster, or if they're using cards that you always send to the grave, bounce back their grave cards back to the deck and stall them even more. Cardinal's so good in that, and its attack is pretty weak. It's at 18, but its defense is at 22, so I always, get him out in defense just in case. But Cardinal's such a good card, and he's great. It only needs 2 Fire Fists, so you can't go with you can't go Coat Soldier Wolfbark, bring back something then over him, so because you need 2 Fire Fist monsters. So it had to be a bear and a dragon, or a bear and a gorilla, or a bear and a boar. So that's why, but Cardinal is such a good card just because it bounces back, and it makes it even better. This game, this card does pushes it for game as well. So I love Cardinal, but I really would run him at 2 because just then I can get even more options out. So because really, I hesitate to go into him because I only have 1. So I don't really want to bring him out too early because then he'll, I don't want him to die too early off either. So he's more of a late game card for me, or if I really need him. But if I had 2, then that would solve that problem. So 2 would be a good thing to have, 2 of those. I run 1 Line Emperor. Don't really go into Line Emperor that much, but he's pretty good just to get back whatever I've lost. There's also I can go into a combo where I bring back my spirit, and then I can just, get another horse prince out. So, he's good with that, but I don't really go into him too much. But he's there just in case I need him. Here's one card that you wouldn't expect to see in here. Steelswarm Roach. This card, don't go into him a lot, like I said, but he's good if I'm fighting like an E-Dragon deck or a Lightsworn deck, because you can only special... If you special summon, he can negate the special summon of that monster. Of a level 5 or higher, I think. Let me see. Oh, come on, focus. Yeah, level 5 or higher monster. So, he only has 19 attack, but he's actually pretty good for that reason, So, I have him in there for that, because I can stop the big monsters from coming out. But like I said, I don't go into him a lot just because he's at 19. So, but he's pretty good just to stop those summonings. Gagaga Cowboy. This is my game-winning card. I only go into him when they're at 300, 400, or even 800, and get him in defense. His effect goes off, and I win. So that's why Gagaga's there, just so then I can just get that game-winning, kill. So Gaga is my game changer. 2 horse prints. Have 2 horse prints because horse prints is amazing. Get your combo off with spirit. Get either leopard out or chicken out, rooster effects. Get horse prints effect. Get another rooster out. Rooster's effect. Get a fire fist to your hand. Love that card. So I'd combo the second one off. Like, I really only go into 1 because there's only 1 tuner that's a rank 3. There's only 1 tuner that's a rank 3, which is the spirit. But if I like I said, if I get Lion Emperor's effect, I can get the spirit back to my hand and then go into another horse prince. So there's that combo, and horse prince is just 22 beater. So pretty good card to have. Last but not least, Crimson Blader. Crimson Blader. Love this card. Amazing. 28 beater. It's a fire. And you combo this off with Boar, because Boar is a level 8 or rank 8 tuner. So Boar and anything else that's a rank 4. Get Crimson Blader out. Crimson Blader is amazing. It's a better version pretty much of Steelswarm Roach, because whatever monster that it destroys by battle, your opponent cannot special summon level 5 or higher for the next turn. So I'll bring him. I can bring him out pretty easily, and you know it's just a strong card, 28, so it can run over most things, and it's so good because they can't special summon for the next turn. So Crimson Blader is amazing for that reason, and that's what I combo off with Boar, you know, to get him out and just Crimson Blader effect. So Crimson Blader is just an amazing card. I love it. So yeah, you definitely. And I run this main because, you know, like I said, I fight a lot of Light Swarm decks, so I need to stop them from special summoning all their JDs. So this card is amazing, so I love Crimson Blaze for that. Alright, so now I'll go into my extra deck. I'll play one DD Crow, because DD Crow is pretty good. It's not that great, but, you know, if they have, you know, those 3 Light Swarms in the grave, you know, take that out with DD Crow, or if they have, you know, Turtle for Brusions or whatever, of course, DD Crow kind of, you know, helps out with that. So, and it's a hand trap, so it's pretty good at that. So, DD Crow is pretty good with that. One Thunder King, because Thunder King stops lots of stuff, and you know, it's a just great card just to have there. Plus, he's a rank 4. So yeah, I can still go into my XZs if I need to, but I'll just usually just keep him out there, you know. Thunder King is pretty good, and his effect's amazing. So it kind of stops me, but you know it also stops your opponent. So there's that. Concentrated Light. You won't see many of this card, but Concentrated Light is actually really good against like Evil Swarm or Puppets or what is it, Dark Worlds too. Concentrated Light is amazing. It stops them from doing everything. So, and plus, they can't do any battle with it too. So, this card is just amazing for only against any monster with Dark Monster. So, this card is amazing with that. So, Concentrated Light. I should run 3 of them, but right now I only have 1, so that's why I have 1 in there. Because I don't really pull that, but I need it though sometimes. One Dimensional Fissure, self-explanatory. Dimensional Prison or Fissure, I mean, is amazing. It stops lots of stuff, and if you get a first turn, you're amazing. So you could just set that and just sit back and just win the duel. But it's great MST bait, so you want to be careful with that. So, but Dimensional Prison or Fissure is amazing. I keep saying prison, but yeah, it's good. Here's 2 cards that or 1 card that you don't really see a lot of people playing of. Swords of Concealing Light. Swords of Concealing is actually a really good card to side deck, because whatever big monster they have, even if it's a card that uses its effects during your opponent's turn 2, just use Concealing Light. Set it face down. They can't flip. And you could just run over whatever they have in defense and destroy it easily. You know, this is great for getting over the big monsters because their defense position or their defense points isn't really that much. So Concentrated Light really helps out with that and just get over what they need and stops effects from going off too. So that's why I like this card. And not a lot of people run this or think to run this, but Concealing Light is really good actually. Next, Necro Valley. Just to stop any plays from happening. You know, it's a good card, so it just stops all the graveyard traps from happening. So Necro Valley is pretty good. Not to traps. The card that kills every deck ever. Macrocosmos. Hate this card, love this card. I need it if I'm going up against a pretty good player, and I'm gonna need to macro. So I have macro for that reason. You know, like against a really good Boujon player, Macrocosmos is good. You know, so but you just need that macro just because it's gonna kill everything. So it'll make it more even for both of you. You know, but like I said, it's also MST bait. So there's that. Next, I have Mask of Restrict. Only reason I have this card in here is because at my locals, there's a Frog Monarch player, so I side this card in for him. So then he can't tribute summon for whatever reason. So that's why that's there. I don't really play it a lot, but still, is for the the Monarchs, or I know there's new Monarch cards that are coming out too, so this is gonna be good for that as well. And then I'm just gonna put all three of these cards up just because they have the same art style or the same character in them. Skill Drain, Soul Drain, Mind Drain. These three cards are pretty cool. Of course, for monsters on the field, monsters that are in the grave or banished, and monsters in your hand. Can't activate any of their effects. So this is good for everything. This is good for like Dark Worlds, Bujins, Lightswarm. This card good for Bujins as well. So these three cards are pretty good. You still gotta pay 1,000 for each, but it stops a lot of the things. So that's why I like those cards. So I have those in there as well, and I pick out whichever one I need for whatever situation. Summon Limit. This card actually helps out a lot. So, for those decks that like to spam the field, this just says no, you can't. Stop it. So I like Summon Limit. I should have that too, but Summon Limit's pretty good. Just to stop all those spamming out. So I only have one, but still, it stops a lot of things out. So especially if they're a deck that goes into the extra deck a lot, you can only, when they summon out that second monster, that's it. They can't bring out their XZ monster or their Synchro. They only stop at those two, and that's it. So I like Summon Limit for that reason too. Now I have Light Imprisoning Mirror and Shadow Imprisoning Mirror. These two cards are pretty much the same thing. Stop light monsters' effects from happening on field and grave for Bujins for Lightswarm. Shadow Imprisoning Mirror does the same thing, but with dark monsters. Dark Worlds, you can use this with. You can use this with Evil Swarm, any other monster that any other dark monster deck. I know this is going to be used a lot for the Shaddolls, so if you're if you're not playing Shaddolls and you're gonna go against them, this is the card to go up against with that, and it's great. And what else was I gonna say about it? It's good for a mirror match too. So if I'm playing against Shaddolls, because I'm gonna be playing Shaddolls, but if I'm going against them, I know I'm gonna side in this card right here, so then I can just make it so much more even, and the only thing they can really do is MST, because other than that, they can't do anything else. They can fusion, but that's about it. So they can't do any of their effects. So Shadow Prisoner Mirror is good. So it pretty much makes that entire deck just a normal monster deck, like a vanilla. So Shadow Prisoner Mirror is amazing, as well as Light Prisoner Mirror. So that's the extra deck, and that concludes it for my deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I spent a lot of time, making this, and I go to my locals all the time, so all these cards are just a combination of what I've gotten at my locals, and some of the Fire Fist monsters I've bought online, just like a couple of them. But hope you guys enjoyed it. I enjoyed making this deck. I enjoyed, showing it off. I love this deck a lot. This deck is like my heart and soul. And I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna stop playing it just because the Shaddolls are coming out, and I like, I want to play with a new deck. I've played with this deck for a long time, so I'm just looking for something new to, go into. So that's why I have this deck profile out, because I'm revealing it before I put it away. So like I said, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This has been Popkid for Thoughts of Nerds. Gonna bring you some more content, and I want you guys to have a good one. Peace out.